Hey all, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a Scratch Fink group build update, a couple of shop card shoutouts, and I got a mail call today. So let's get on with the shop cards, shall we? The first one comes from James Morris over at Morris Custom Model Shop. And that's sweet looking 60 Impala sedan delivery there. Reminds me of my Street Fighter up on the shelf. As a matter of fact, I think that might be the Street Fighter. So James, I thank you for the card. I thank you for the support of my channel as well. And I thank you for the kind words on the back. Guys, once again, if you don't follow Morris Custom Model Shop, I'll leave a link down in the description and you can check out the channel for yourself. Thanks again, James. So I have another one here, and this one has been long awaited. Drum roll, please. Mr. Mark Batson, Hobbydude 007. Thank you for the card, Mark. I know most of you follow Hobbydude 007, but if you don't, you're missing out. You need to get over to his channel. I'll leave a link in the description. And not only did I get a card, I got a sticker too. We all know how much I like stickers, right? And thank you for the kind words on the back as well, Mark. I appreciate them. And these guys' cards are going to go up on my wall like all the rest. And yeah, man. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Alright, so what do you guys want to see first? The Scratch Fink build update, or do you want to see my mail call? Let's go with the mail call. So, the mail lady dropped off a package for my daughter on my porch. And I'm like, well, I guess I didn't get my mail today. But she's kind of weird sometimes. And she puts some envelopes on my porch, and then she'll put some envelopes in the mailbox. And I don't get it. So, I was like, I guess I didn't get it. But I told my youngest, I said, go down to the mailbox and see if there's any mail in the mailbox. I'm expecting some mail. So my daughter ran down there and she went to the mailbox and she came back with a stack of mail. And not only did I have the shop cards, I had this. Feast your eyes on those. All right. At first glance, you guys are going to be like, yeah, so what? What is it? Right? Well, these are decals for the Bandit Trans Am from Mr. Keith Marks up there in Canada. But anyway, the kit decals do not have anything that says Trans Am on it. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed. It doesn't say Trans Am. And I wanted to correct decals for it when I build that car. So I ordered these through Keith Marks. And these do have the Trans Am and everything else that goes with it. So as per usual, I do a mix and match, and I'll use partial kit decals and I'll use partial Keith Marks decals like I did on my 69 Camaro that you guys have probably never seen unless you're all in Facebook groups. And also, if you guys don't use Keith Marks decals, you should. Anyway, honestly, I'm sure there's people out there that make decals just as good as Mr. Marks does, but I've never found any. I mean, I remember Fred Katie decals and stuff like that, and they were pretty good. But I don't know. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about getting those finally. It takes a couple weeks from Canada to get stuff, but I'm happy. So, alright. So, this ain't much to look at, kind of like me, and that's why I don't get on camera very often. But you're going to have to appreciate the vision, I guess you can say. So, this guy, he's waiting. He's looking. I mean, he's over there guarding the outlaw over there. So, oh my goodness, this thing is ugly. So, you guys seen when I glued the cab to the rear quarters and stuff, but now I'm starting to do some putty work. And you're getting an idea. I have to lay some more putty in here, and I need to smooth this out because there's no way the transition from the firewall back to the quarter is going to be smooth, you know. I want that shape, but I don't want it to boop, you know, boop, boop. I need sound effects. Boop. So yeah. So you get the idea of what the shape is going to look like. But I want that to be a smooth transition to the front, you know. And you still feel that. And when you prime it, you're definitely going to see that. So I'm going to do some more putty work and keep working on this. Now I fully expected that I'd probably end up losing body lines when I did this. So I went and I bought styrene in different sizes, because I definitely want to maintain the trim, you know, and I want to carry that trim line right on through to the firewall of the truck. And if I have to replace it, I have to replace it with the styrene sheet, or styrene strips, sorry. So you'll notice I filled in where the hood normally sits on top of the firewall. I thought this is not going to have a hood. So I filled this in. The vent is somewhat filled in. I didn't really have I had no intention on keeping that vent or opening that vent. I was just going to smooth this whole cowl area and just go with that. I'm going to smooth the firewall. If you see, I've already started sanding on it. I'm going to smooth this. I need to fill in this seam here, and I'm going to smooth it so there's nothing here. But obviously I want to keep this cutout here so the engine can set back in there. So I have not started on the bed, obviously. I'm trying to get all this worked out first, and then we'll work that in afterwards. I have some stuff I have to do. I'm trying to decide whether I want to narrow the rear end and keep the wheels inside, or do I want to lengthen the rear end and actually have the wheels outside. I'm undecided just yet. Not sure what I want to do with that, but yep. So that is the progress. And like I said, I'm going to be puttying and sanding and puttying and sanding, and this is probably not going to look too different for a while. But yeah, hopefully I get it done on time. There's a lot to be done here. Oh, and speaking of the Scratch Fink group build, I saw Dan over at 60s Rule. I saw his entry, and am I blown away? That is so cool. And like I told him when I commented, I have big shoes to fill and a tough act to follow at this point. So I feel like, you know, no offense to everybody else, because I think their builds are amazing too. But his is the cream of the crop so far, guys. I hate to tell you, we're going to be chasing greatness, if you will. That thing looks sweet. I'm digging it, you know, and it is totally in the spirit of Ed Big Daddy Roth and what he was about and everything. So, oh, I have to show you guys something. Stay still. Alright, I'm sorry to alarm you, but I wanted to show you these. 1954 and 1956. So I just had to show these to you. So on this one here, it's pretty interesting. This guy here got tired of paying mechanics to do work on his car. So he set out to build his own, right? So he had no skill and no know-how, but yet he wanted to build his own engine. And I'm not talking about going to a speed shop and buying the parts and assembling the engine. He decided he was going to scratch build an engine. So that's what this article is about. Pretty interesting, actually. But there is a car in here that I want to talk to you about really quick. If I can find the page. This one here. This is a car that Gene Winfield did about a year and a half after he opened his shop. And this guy wanted it tail dragging. He wanted it low, low. And it talks about the process that Gene used to lower this car and some of the other customizations on it. Gene Winfield is probably one of my more favorite customizers. Sorry, Big Daddy fans. No, I love Ed Roth too, but Gene Winfield, I you know, how many different grill bars can you see in that grill? You see the M in the middle? Flip it upside down, and what do you see? Yeah, it's a Willys grill bar, so that's pretty cool. And talking about the vents here that he cut in there, and the reason why he did that is because the customer feared that his brakes would get too hot and then they wouldn't work. So Gene went and he cut new vents in there. And then it talks about teeth will be added. But yeah, there is an article in here about Barris and his scallops, or not scallops, his vents and stuff, his air scoops. Then on the back, accessories by Barris. This one I thought was interesting. Add an oil filter for $7.50. First of all, I don't think you could buy an oil filter today for $7.50, but back then it must have been worth a lot of money. And it's kind of funny to add an oil filter. But then again, you know, like what I'm doing to the 32, I'm adding an oil filter. They didn't have oil filters on engines back then. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. But the other thing is, you know, build a spark plug tester, you know, and then also, I think in this one, you build a timing light, right? This is why the older generations are smarter than some of us younger generations. They had to build stuff like this out of necessity. Now we just run down to Napa and buy a damn timing light. Back then, they didn't have that luxury. They had to build one. So, I mean, look, and this is why. These magazines, and if you notice, today's magazines kind of don't hold a candle. It's mostly pictures and advertisements. These are stories. These are write-ups. This is, you know, I know, I'm probably going to get a bunch of hate mail on that, but look at that. Look at that. Alright. Oh. Adding an oil filter. It's good stuff, man. This is going to help me when I plumb that beehive oil filter on that 32, because it's going to tell me exactly where it needs to go. Yeah, this is good stuff. This is old school knowledge, and it's valuable stuff. You guys collect any of this? Do you guys have any of these laying around? I mean, this is just two. I mean, there's more that I could bring out, but you know, this is just two. I used to collect all sorts of rotting and customization magazines, and I had them from the 50s all the way up to present day. And it wasn't up until a couple of years ago that I started liquidating some of my magazines. Some of which I wish I did not. So obviously I'm going to hang on to stuff like this, but I appreciate you guys watching this video. It probably got a little bit long. I probably got a little excitable, but I'm pretty excited about stuff like this, and I wanted to share it with you guys. It kind of goes along with the theme of what we're doing here, right? All of this stuff. So guys, if you're not subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you went down and you hit that subscription link and then went over there to the notification bell, so every time I upload a video you can be notified. But other than that, I dig all your comments. I appreciate all your advice, all your comments, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. So until next time, thanks for watching. Happy modeling.